Hey guys, welcome back to this place, and if you are new, then welcome here for the very first time. I'm Carmen, and today we are going to be watching Season 2, Episode 6 of Westworld. I'm really excited to watch this episode. I assume that since this season has kind of been going back and forth between Maeve and Dolores' storyline and Bernard and the Man in Black storyline, that since 205 was Maeve and Dolores, that 206, which is this episode, right? Yeah. 206 is going to be Bernard and the Man in Black, so I'm excited to see what's going on there and what information that we can get from this. So, yeah, without any more of me rambling, let's just watch it and find out if I'm completely off base.
I'm not sure if it's my choice to make.
He didn't say that. This is a test. One we've done countless times.
What are you testing for?
Fidelity.
That's like William and James Dallas.
She didn't fucking tell me anything, man. She's the fucking boss. She can take them places that we don't even have access to.
We'll find him. Let's go.
You created him.
It seems like if you're gonna hire a head of security, you might want to know what it is to take care of.
He's not wrong.
You really think that Dallas is gonna keep hundreds of guests in danger while they wait for one control unit worth of data?
Oh, look at that. You're catching up.
Yeah, dude, it's a corporation. They don't care about people.
I don't want to fuck with his head. I just want to keep him off his feet permanently.
Hey.
Is that really necessary?
It's really effective.
That's fucked up. Hey, Stubbs thinks it's fucked up too. I don't understand what's going on here.
So, 取引だ。我らが仲間を連れ、この場を去る代わりに、そなたを生かしてやろう。
Yes, ma'am.
他の者は去ってよい。茜は残れ。
田中、我らで決着をつけようではないか。もしわしが勝てば、茜はわしのものだ。お主は長年自慢しておったが、今こそその刀で腕前を見せてみろ。
Yeah. Are you all talk?
わしと勝負し、見せかけの組頭ではないことをお主の部下に示したら、わしから逃れ、臆病者の汚名を被るかだ。
Okay. Obviously, I'm rooting for Musashi.
術を使ってあの人を助けて。いや、我ら皆運命を選べる。それが
Is
死
death?
であろうと。
Ah, that's a fucking cheater's move. Oh, he's gonna let him. It's no, okay. It's an honorable death, right? Seppuku, I think is what it's called. I could be wrong.
Would you really stoop this low for? You really gunning for me this hard?
Made my own daughter into a host.
Oh, he thinks she's a host.
Around the sun a little too long. Jesus. Come look at this.
What?
QA has been trying to regain control of whatever Ford did to the system, and they were actively blocked every time by the Cradle.
The Cradle can't influence the base's infrastructure.
Every time these idiots upload a new hack, it's responding in like a totally different way.
Can the Cradle itself fight back?
I can only see the messages, not the messenger.
That's because you can't access it remotely. You have to do it in person.
時が来た。
我らはそなたらと共には行かぬ。
我ら皆運命を選べる。
That's what you said. It does. That's free will, you know? Me too. She's gonna go with him. They're still sus of each other.
What the hell are you doing here? Thought you were done with me and the family business.
That's exactly what I said to Charlotte Hale when she called with the gun. I told her to shove it up her ass.
Sounds like his kid.
Then I thought, I've been here in ages. Got a little excited about going back to the Raj. It was always my favorite as a kid.
Remember, you were terrified of the elephants.
I loved the elephants. They scared the shit out of Mom. Then all hell broke loose, and I ended up in the one place I wanted to avoid.
Westworld.
I came here because you do not get to do that to me. Suicide by a robot, or whatever the fuck your mission is now that these things can shoot to kill. I shouldn't have said her death was your fault. It was wrong to put that on your back. But you don't get to make that our final score. Instead, you're gonna come home with me. I'm not gonna let you stay here now and go out in some bullshit blaze of glory.
She loves him.
That's how you're getting me out of here. Threatening.
No doubt I'm asking.
She wants you to come home. She's asking to put her above whatever score you have to settle in this place. Whatever suicide mission you're on.
If I head with you to the beach, that means you and I are even.
It'll be a good start.
I wonder if he'll do it. Or if he is...
Then I guess we'll start walking at sunup.
He's gonna leave during the night.
Motherfucker.
You kinda should have seen it coming, hun. Oh yeah, he has the little ball. It's the ball!
Put me inside. Directly. There's a dock for the control unit. It's meant to read host data directly. Just let it do its thing. Pull me out in an hour.
You gotta give me this one, huh? Not bad navigating for a man under serious duress.
Yes. You can enjoy your one admirable contribution. Thank you.
I enjoyed that moment. Open your eyes, Sizemore. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Please.
You can wait for me here. But let me bring her back.
But take a weapon with you, please. What if they've, like, given her a new family or something, though? Because surely they're not gonna just leave a kid in this cabin by themselves for the storyline, right?
Oh, I bet she loves Anna so much.
She doesn't want Anna to get taken away again.
Who would take her away?
Bad man?
No. Anna's mother is very, very strong. And she would never, ever let anything like that happen again.
Does she remember?
Hello? Mama!
Yeah, I was gonna... yeah, that's... Oh, no.
No! Run!
Yopo, chaku kilio kishi, maogna o hippie hecha.
Ita wan cookie wakashi chaka, makoche yakiyaye.
We have to help them. What the fuck are you doing?
I'm calling for help.
What? For who?
For those of us who are tired of having arrows shot at their predominantly mortal heads.
That's the last of my mercy. Better use it fast.
The fuck is that?
It's the train.
Can he not like break a window and try to jump out and survive or something? Like, is that stupid? I don't know how trains work. Oh, they're sending it into the thing.
What the hell was that?
Ford's dog? Yeah, go in that door. Go where the dog went. Who's at the piano playing it? It looked like the dog was laying next to them. Is it Ford? It is, it's Ford.
Hello, old friend.
What does that mean? Oh my god. Of course that's where they end up. Okay, so as per always with this show, we had another amazing episode. I was expecting it to be Bernard and Man in Black because they've kind of been switching back and forth between Bernard and Man in Black and Maeve and Dolores for the past few episodes, so I kind of thought that it was gonna keep doing that, but instead we got just everybody in the same episode, and I'm like, what? Like, give me a second, please. Like, you know? But yeah, we had a lot, so let's just start talking about it. In the beginning, we had Dolores and Bernard, and they were having this conversation that we had seen Dolores and Arnold have in the past. And then it kind of switched, and it became like the conversation that James, Delos, and William were having, which is weird. The only thing that I can assume is, like, what if Bernard is Arnold and he's not merely a host designed to be like Arnold, but he is the consciousness of Arnold? Could it be possible? The thing is, he was shot in the head, and I don't know how... I feel like the brain would be necessary for any sort of consciousness to be transferred, right? So I just don't know if that would be possible, but I'm intrigued by it, you know? Why that conversation took place, why it mirrored the conversation that Delos and William had. We also got new Teddy in this episode. That's kind of all I can call him. He's like Teddy, but he doesn't seem to have any sort of emotions that Teddy had, even when Dolores was trying to be sort of like close to him and close with him, like huggy, you know, standing in the same space like couples do, right? He was just standing there. Like, he didn't really seem to give a fuck. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I like new Teddy. I'm not sure if Dolores likes new Teddy. She liked the one thing he said at the end, but she also didn't seem too keen on him at first, so we're gonna have to see how that plays out. But he did give that guy a bullet and a gun and say, this is the last of my mercy, like, kill himself before he gets blown up and impacted when the train hits the mesa, I think. So, undetermined on new Teddy. Kind of hoping he can go back to old Teddy. I think that it's cool how in this season we're sort of seeing the human characters that we've known since the first season, like Stubbs, Elsie, Sizemore, Sylvester, and Felix, sort of being confronted with the fact that the hosts might be more than they originally thought, and they might be more human-like than they anticipated. And I like the way that some of them are evolving and growing and changing, right? Felix sort of started last season. Elsie is really starting to come around to Bernard, and I think that she would not be difficult to convince that hosts are a new form of life. Stubbs in this episode was showing hesitancy for what they were doing to Abernathy, and he seemed to be upset about it in the way that they were treating him like he wasn't human, right? And he doesn't seem to like the way these people are handling stuff. So I think he could also come around, and I think it's interesting to sort of watch the humans try to understand the hosts in a new and different way. I think that Sizemore is honestly starting to see it, but he's still in a very selfish mind point mindset, I guess, because him and Maeve had that really cute moment where she said thank you, and he seemed genuinely touched by her thank you, that it meant something to him, right? So I don't know. I constantly do this back and forth with Sizemore, where he seems like he might be taking a step forward onto, like, I could possibly like this character. And then, like, he called and was like, yeah, I'm worried about the actual people whose actual heads could get blown off, you know? And I understand the sense of self-preservation. I understand he doesn't want to die. I completely understand that. I don't blame him for that. But it's a little bit a betrayal of Maeve, you know? And after she just kind of had this moment with you, I don't know. I don't know. I'm always on the fence with Sizemore. I mostly don't like him, but I would like him to give me a reason to change my mind. With Maeve and Akane and Sakura and Maeve's daughter, we sort of got the reiteration of the mothers and daughters theme that has been present throughout the season, especially in Maeve's story and now Akane's story. We see it a little bit in the Man in Black's daughter's story. Emily? Is that her name? Can't remember. Anyway, Maeve and Akane had some good scenes together, and I really liked also the scene where they go back to the village to talk to Tanaka. I think that was his name. And Musashi decides to duel Tanaka, and Maeve lets him, instead of using her witch powers like Akane asked her to. And she said, everyone deserves to choose their own fate, even if that fate is death, which obviously he didn't die, but I think that that's a really cool thing about Maeve, that she does so adamantly believe that now that they are free, no one should have a claim on them, that they can choose their fate, right? And he defeated Tanaka and then allowed him to commit seppuku, which is an honorable sort of death, death before dishonor sort of thing, right? With samurai, I believe, again, could be way off. Like I said in the last episode, I'm basing this on a very limited knowledge basin of knowledge, I guess. So I could be way off, but I feel like I've heard that before. If I'm wrong, then just let me know, but I believe that's what he did. Instead of killing him, which would have dishonored him, he allowed him to kill himself, which is an honorable death, to kill yourself rather than let your enemy kill you. Maybe. Anyway, I got off track. I was trying to talk about Maeve and mothers and daughters and Akane. And then after that, they went to Snow Lake, which is where Sakura was from, and she took her heart and put it in the little altar and burned it. So, her burial place was where she was from, Snow Lake. Maeve asked Akane to come with them, and she said that they weren't going to come with them, or Musashi said they weren't going to come with them, and Akane said, repeated Maeve's line back to her that, she should be allowed to choose her own fate, even if that fate is death. And it was a really nice moment, and I think that Maeve respected it and understood it, and I kind of hope we can see them again, but I'm not super expecting it, This also brings sort of an interesting contrast with Maeve and Dolores, whereas Dolores is choosing Teddy's fate for him. She's fixing him, changing him, and a lot of these other hosts, she's choosing their fate for them. Maeve is allowing each host to choose their own fate for themselves, which I really like. I think it's an interesting dichotomy between the two of them, and it's like, which way is right? Obviously, we're going to think that, or we're going to be more inclined to think that Maeve's way is more correct because she's letting them have the choice, and that's what living is to be allowed to have agency over your own fate. Although, it's really interesting because so much of being alive is sort of having other people, in a way, choose your fate for you. You can't choose the economic status or the social status or any of that stuff that you're born into, right? So it's sort of interesting. I, of course, still want Maeve's way. I believe that people should be able to choose, but it's just an interesting sort of dichotomy that's happening between these two characters and the different ways that they are choosing to express the freedom that they've been given. Sorry, y'all, I'm coughing. Speaking of Maeve going, of Akane and them not going with Maeve and Sizemore and them, Maeve did end up at the old farmhouse where she used to live. I guess it's a farmhouse. There's not really a farm around it, so maybe it's just like a cabin. But she ended up finding it, and she went alone, which scared me because I'm like, don't kill Maeve. Do not kill Maeve, okay? But she went alone, and she saw her daughter sitting on the porch, and I just knew that another mom or mom and dad were going to come in because they're going to replace her with new parents because the narrative has to stay the same. And this child can't be in this cabin by themselves. That's kind of a weird narrative, right? So I worried about that. And then obviously that happened and her daughter called someone else mom. And then the Ghost Nation people came riding in and they attacked, and just shit started going everywhere. And Hector and them came to the rescue. Sizemore, like we talked about earlier, just, called for himself to be rescued, and the other humans. And that's kind of where we left off with that. We don't know what's gonna happen, but I just hope Maeve doesn't get killed. I hope that she can somehow get her daughter to remember her, because otherwise that's just sad as fuck, And I don't want that for Maeve. We also got the man in black and his daughter in this episode. They had some conversations, At first, he sort of thought that she was a host that Ford had created to fuck with him, which, to be fair, Ford would do. So I wouldn't have been surprised. But she's not. She's his actual daughter. And they had that really nice conversation at the fire where she basically says, it wasn't fair of me to blame Mom's death on you. Like, yes, you might not be the good guy that I thought you were growing up, but it's still not fair to place her death on you. That was a choice that she made. And she's just trying to get her dad back, She's going through all this because she saw that he was on this sort of suicide mission to spend the rest of his life in this park and get himself to get killed, and she didn't really want that for him. She didn't think that he should get off that easy, so to speak, right? She wanted him to do the hard thing and try to repair their relationship. And they had some really cute moments, but ultimately when she asked him to leave, I knew that he was going to choose to finish the game before leaving, and I just don't know. I think she's going to go after him. I don't know how it's going to affect their relationship, but I feel like this is something that he's invested too much time in to leave unfinished. Whether or not she'll understand that remains to be seen, but I am curious as to what her reaction will be if she is able to catch up with him. The Cradle is fighting back, is kind of what they were saying too in this episode. And the Cradle is just where they have all of the backup information for all of the hosts in Westworld Park. So if a host gets destroyed, presumably they can rebuild them from the backup data that they have on them. That's my guess as to what the Cradle is. Now, we've already seen in the future, or the now, as I call it, the Cradle has been destroyed and at least 1/3 of all the data is gone. So those hosts, I'm guessing, wouldn't be able to be rebuilt from scratch. But in this episode, the Cradle is still intact, and Elsie and Bernard go there. They go there because the information is being encrypted kind of by the Cradle, right? They're trying, they being Delos, to log back in, right? To get control back of the system. And the Cradle, or something from the Cradle, is blocking them. It's not allowing them to hack in. And so Bernard and Elsie went to see what it was. And then Bernard hooked himself up to that machine that took his little red ball out and put it in. And now Bernard is in Westworld, and he followed Ford's dog to the saloon where Ford is sitting at the piano and playing, and he says, "Hello, old friend," and then the episode fucking ends. Because of course it does, right? Y'all, is Ford back? Did Ford do this? Is Ford somehow the computer in the cradle that's fucking everything up? What did Ford do? What did Ford do? What did Ford do? Like, you know, I want Ford to be back because I want Anthony Hopkins back in any way. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for that ending. I'm excited. Also, y'all, I saw the lady who I said, "Is that Elsie?" last episode in this episode, and it's definitely not Elsie. So I feel like I should just have a t-shirt that says, "Is that Elsie?" And it's just, I'm literally wrong every single time that I guess that. I don't know what's wrong with me, guys. I just get hyper worried that Elsie's gonna be dead, I guess. I don't know why. Anyway, if you think I should make that shirt, vote down below. Tell me down below. But, I mean, I probably won't. But honestly, it should be made because that's funny. I don't know why I think everybody is Elsie. Every dead person I see, I'm like, "Is that Elsie?" It's like some old guy with white hair. I'm like, could it be Elsie though? No. No, anyway, sorry. I'm gonna stop talking now. But that doesn't mean you have to stop talking to me. So as always, let me know what you thought in the comments down below. And until next time, bye guys.